Hi, in this video I am going to show you the position absolute of CSS. So I have created two files, position.html and style.css. So I am going to open both these files on Sublime Text. This is the editor that I am going to use. So this is this has been opened now. So here is nothing right now. So now I am going to open here as well. So I have position.html and style.css, and on the output screen I am getting nothing right now on position.html. So now let me write here the HTML. So here is position absolute. So I am going to write here an h1 tag, and here I will write position absolute. So if you will see on the output screen, you will get something like this, position absolute. So now I am going to give it some CSS h1 and text align center. So now on the output screen you will find that I haven't linked that style.css. So now let me link style.css, and now you will see the changes, position absolute. So to implement the position absolute, I have needed two div. So first div is this, and I am giving the class name as relative. And I have closed this div over here, and I have another div whose class name is I am giving it absolute, and here it would be closed. So now what I am going to write here is I am I am absolute here. So now if you will see on the output screen, this would be something like this, but this would be more clear when I will give some CSS to it. So let me give the CSS to firstly relative. The relative is class right now, right? So I am giving it some height. Firstly I have to give it position relative border 2 pixel red solid, and then I have some height 50 pixel. So now if you will see on the output screen, this would be something like this, right? So let me give some more height to it, 80 pixel. So now the height is somewhat more, and now let me give the CSS to absolute. So position is absolute, and I am also giving it some border 2 pixel solid and green. Let us see. Yes, this is I am absolute here. So now you would see some changes, that absolute means it would change its position according to its parent's position. So here this div has the parent, this div. So the parent div is already relative and the child div is absolute. So it means that the absolute div would change its position according to its parent position. For example, I am giving some position to to the parent relative, right? So for example, top 50 pixel. So now if you will see, yes, the parent has been changed, the parent div has changed the position, and accordingly the child has also changed its position, because child is dependent on the parent position, right? So now if you will change the position of, for example, top 10%, this is to the absolute div, so you will find out that this has changed its position. For example, I am giving it from left 30%. So now if you will see the change, this is means this child is changing its position according to its parent, right? So for example, you are not giving it in percentage, you can also give it, for example, 60 pixel, and from left you are giving it 40 pixel. So now if you will see, this is something like that. Top I am also going to increase 80 pixel for say. So now or might be 100. So now you can see that this specific div is 80 pixel away from this parent div, means this is going to change its position according to the parent div. And if I am going to change the position of parent div right now, then the child would also change it. For example, I am giving it top 100 pixel. So now you will find out that the parent has changed its position, and accordingly the child has also changed. So it means that child is absolute. Absolute means relative to somewhat, means this is whenever this is going to change its position, this would be according to its relative parent, and that relative parent should be nearest one. Nearest one means it can be that that it has parent and it has its own parent. So at that time, this parent, according to the nearest parent, this div would change its position, right? And one more example, one more case can be like, for example, we haven't any relative position element, so we have only the absolute position element. So at that time, this would change its position according to the document, right? According to the document, means it would consider the document as the relative parent. But right now we have given it the separate div as a relative, so because of which this absolute position element is going to change its position according to the relative element which is nearest to it. So you can also see all those changes from here. You can see the changes. So this is going to change its position according to its parent. So this is 18 pixel from top of this relative. For example, I'm keeping it 0 pixel. So at that time you will find out this is 0 pixel. Top 0 pixel means this is on the top of, on the beginning of this parent div, right? So in the relative, for example, I am changing its height, so you can see the change. And if I am changing its top, you can see the change. So the parent is going to change, and the child is changing as well, because child is dependent on the parent's position, right? So in this way you can check it according to you. How it means, how you are going to able to understand it would be possible if you will practice by your own. So according to me, that's it. It means I have means from my side the concept is going to be finished, so you can play with all these changes so that you could better understand. So that's it. In the next video we would be learning about another cool concept. So before ending this video, I request you to support my channel by subscribing it if not subscribed yet. Just subscribe it on clicking at subscribe button right bottom of your screen. Like this video, share this video to your friends. For any query, please feel free to ask below in the comment. I appreciate your feedback if you have any. Have a nice day ahead.